Hi guys, welcome back to another quick card pull. This is being filmed on Wednesday, July 8th, 2026. Today we're pulling from the Everyday Tarot cards. We're going to start off with the Empress, so very compassionate, very nurturing energies. I feel like a lot of us need that right now, so this could be a call to attention, like, the nurturing side. I love the baby belly, with the pomegranate, which brought my attention to. I will clip the meaning on that on the start of the video, or I'll just clip it so it's always there. But fertility and new beginnings, Empress is definitely that, ruling with Venus, with love. So I feel like it's like being more of a nurturer, especially with retrograde communication. It's in zodiac sign Cancer, so it's like, a communication, emotions are high, so it's just like, be mindful of your words, be more sensitive, and be more aware of situations going around you where it does call you to be more empathetic. We go to the King of Pentacles. So again, you may see lots of money coming in right now, but this is not a time to go crazy on the money. Like, yeah, spend, nothing wrong with buying yourself a treat and stuff like that, but also a call to, like, be mindful that, like, especially in the winter time, the hydro bills may be a little bit higher, but doing everything you can to bring that down. But also, I feel like it's like Anastasia teaches us, like, lessons have been learned. So with myself, it's like every time I get an increment of money by Yahweh Nishwa's blessings, I take so much of that and I put it on there. So it's not such a huge deal when it comes, like, when I get the bill, it's like, oh, thank God, I've already put this much on it, I'm going to put this much more on it. Even when it's paid, I keep putting money on it, so that way when I get the bill, it's not a huge deal. So it's just like ways that can help us out so that it's taken away, like, and try to remember where you were before, where these anxieties are coming up, because it's muscle memory. You know what I mean? It's like you went through certain situations, so like scarcity and stuff like that, but it's like that was then, this is now. And it is so hard to remember that, because especially when you're trying to save and something comes up and you have to dip into the savings to, help you, but that's why you have it. You know what I mean? It's like, that's why you kept saving. So it's like, you know what I mean? I know it sucks to dip into it, but sometimes if you have to, that's what it was there for. So just a reminder of that. But you do have things coming in. Listen to your channel messages, listen to your, whatever they're trying to tell you right now, ideas and everything come in right now. So if you can't do it right now because it's busy, when things slow down for you, see how you can start utilizing that. See how you can start bringing that forward, because this is spirit letting you know how to get to where you want to go. This is going to get you to where you want to go. So, write it down. If you can't do it right now, you can revisit it. So the Hangman, changing your perspective. We got this before. So this will be like 303 or 33 could be significant, just depending how you look at it. If you go into the grander scheme of angel numbers, the definitions, what they're calling to your attention. But here, like we were just talking about, you are making progress. It may seem like they're showing a snail. They're showing the snail trail behind it. I don't know why, but maybe it's like to look back at your progress. Maybe you have to like see it to believe it. You know what I mean? Like you know what I mean? I feel like if you actually see the differences where you actually believe things are changing, but I feel like, sometimes things do happen, but you are trying. And that's what the universe sees. Where you move, they move. Where you put energy, they put energy. This is where you start to level up, because you're actually doing the work. You can't just lay in bed and be like, oh, I want this. Oh, I want that. It's like, it doesn't work that way. You have to make the movement. You have to make the progress. Be open to leveling up. Remember yesterday they were showing Sam with Temperance and the library, and we said, like, this is you learning a new skill. So for myself, because I'm in New Brunswick, I have to learn, it's the same as Ontario basically, but it's like, it's good to revise it. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm reading and putting my energies, when I have a moment. My gosh, I feel like I'm chasing my tail a lot lately. But it's just like, know that, you are being supported at this time. And that's where it's just like, that's where they want you to put your energy. So Page of Pentacles, grounding energies, but also grounding information, maybe some increment of money. Maybe money has been an issue lately where, you're kind of worried. Maybe like money is not an issue, like it's coming in, but it's like how it's going out. You know what I mean? Like where like, like literally just got an email. It's like, Sonny's had insurance on him. That's our dog for the longest time since we had him. And it's like, knock on wood, we haven't had to do anything. You know what I mean? But it just keeps going up and up. And I'm like, oh my gosh. But he's our baby. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to, you know what I mean? Like, God forbid, like, it's like when you take it off is when the poop hits the fan, right? So it's like it's there just in case. You know what I mean? But, it is, a bill. Like, you're like, oh my gosh, because he was a rehome. He was a stud. And when they were done with him, got rid of him. So, he's been such a blessing to our family. And it's like, we don't know his history, that, you know what I mean? I don't know. And what we saw, it's like, that's where it's just like kind of the unknown, but I rather, and put that kind of investment than not, you know what I mean? It's just, I feel like that's where they're saying, like, you could feel it, you know what I mean? They see it. That's the thing. It's like, if you believe and you do the things, it's like, that, either cut back on some things, you know what I mean? Like, find the money, like, we'll find the money, you know what I mean? It's just like, that. I feel like that's why they're bringing that up, like, ideas in, you know what I mean? So the Hermit, it's like bringing to your attention information, or what was done in the darkness will come to light. We keep on getting this kind of message, but I also feel like this is where it's like channel messages, channel images. I haven't had time to go in there and really do a deep dive, but I definitely will try to get that done. So it's just, it's like things I try to get done, but you know what I mean? It's just like nothing that's called to the forefront. So, you know what I mean? It's just, be open to it. I feel like stargazing for some reason. I know there's stars back here, but I just like literally saw like a shooting star, like, you know what I mean, in my mind's eye. So maybe you saw a shooting star, or maybe you made a wish upon a star. Something like that may be calling to your attention. So sometimes with all the worrying, we forget what we currently have. And I feel like it's just like, you know what I mean? Again, you've made the strides, you've done the things. But it's just like a call to, trees may be significant, but it's a call to what's important. And I feel like that's what they're saying here. Like, unconditional love. This is also an absolute yes. So we were just talking about, like, like I said, like, yet again, it's got, like, when I first started with this insurance plan, like, I never thought in a million years it would be as what it is. But if you shop around, they're all charging the same thing because they know people love their fur babies. It's like, you want to take care of them. You want to make sure they're good. Even though you take care of them, but like, like my sister had her dog since birth. Like, well, not birth, but you get what I mean. And that dog, that dog is giving her a run for her money. Like, literally. So it's just like, you never know. Like, you know what I mean? But it's just, I'd rather have that insurance with him that, it's just like a peace of mind. You know what I mean? We all have our health cards. That's, kind of essentially his health card kind of thing. But absolutely, yes, everything. That's why I feel like everything, even though it's a lot of pressure. Kids going to college and stuff like that, it's just like, ugh, but it's pressure. And I feel like that's what they're saying. Like, even though there's this pressure, it's just like, like what they were saying with myself, cut back on certain things. So Emperor and Empress Foundation. So, we are heading into a new moon with the retrograde energy. So be mindful of that. I feel like foundation is something that's significant. So I feel like, again, strengthening your foundation. I feel like your core. I feel like your family, who you spend the most time with. I feel like in that way. But I also feel like, again, it's just like resetting those boundaries, or I feel like something with home. I just feel like it's just solidifying that again with home. So this could be like so it looks like there's a male, and it's like proposal of commitment with marriage, in that way. So I don't feel like, that someone is being threatened or anything like that, but I feel like just commitment is what I feel. Like, make it a commitment to the family. So maybe you're not married, and maybe you're just coming to realize, like, that home is where the heart is. So this makes sense, though. But it's just like, we are doing things, and it's working out, which is phenomenal because it's getting a lot of things done. But it's just like, because it got so hot and there's just like been other things that have been priorities. You know what I mean? Like we got things like, you know what I mean? It was just like, how do we do this? And it's like watching the weather too. But with this one thing, it's like there's other steps to it. So I feel like that's where it may feel like that, like, where like today, very busy. You know what I mean? So it's just like doing the best you can. You know what I mean? Like, you're being pulled in 500 million directions. And that's why I always say, just put the things to the top that are a priority. Like I wasn't decisive of what I was going to make for dinner. And I'm just like, what do I do? What do I do? And I'm like, a frigate. You know what I mean? So I feel like, again, whatever is a priority, push it to the top, but don't take anything else on. They're showing someone's dog on here. It's a blonde dog, but it's kind of like young puppy energy, so I don't know if it's like brand new. It's a male dog. But like blonde, white belly, no significant markings, maybe like a black birthmark or something. But I just feel like he likes to jump the fence. Maybe that's why they were bringing up the dog insurance, pet insurance. So we were talking about financially, when we got that king, and here we are like hanging on to things close to our chest in the fear of losing it. So maybe like, that's when they're talking about foundation with the emperor. You know what I mean? It's like, don't allow past energies to creep in, because I feel like this is where you feel vulnerable because of past things. And it's like, that doesn't belong to me. Especially as children, it's like, that situation wasn't yours. You were not in charge of the finances. That had nothing to do with you. You know what I mean? And you should see who you are and your actions. What did you do? Since you know what I mean? Like maybe you're myself, where it's like you're an adult and you have a family, and it's just like, look at your actions of what you've done. And has that ever been there? With ourselves, obviously with Shane passing away, that did change a lot of that, how things look. But at the same time, by God's grace with us, you know what I mean? It's like, never let things get to that point. You know what I mean? So 12:12 on the timer. Very lucky in that way. So this is where I feel like, again, where Anastasia and Reiki Healing Hope Jet and Reiki Healing Hope, I feel like she has backup accounts for some reason. I guess people copy her stuff or something. But I feel like this is where they're trying to tell you, like, you're holding everything, anxiety, So watch what are real energies, what actually belongs to you. So maybe this is where I feel like with that emperor, like, foundation, and maybe this is calling your power back to you. You know what I mean? It's just like where where you feel insecure, don't let that, you know what I mean? It could be because you're tired, could be because the temperatures are hot, you know what I mean? It could be a bunch of different things. But it's just like, in all your time that you've been in charge of things, has that been there? So 1313? No. You know what I mean? So it's like, they didn't carry you this far to carry you this far. You know what I mean? Like, where your priorities are. Just like we were talking about, like, hydro bill is one of the things that always fluctuate. It either goes down, it goes up, what this. So it's just like where they're saying, like, keep, don't go, squirreling away your money. Kind of like the squirrels and the ants and everything like that. They hibernate for winter. Same mentality. King of Cups, and I feel like this is what the reminder is with the Four of Pentacles, is that the universe always fills your cup. The universe always gives you opportunities. The universe always gives you enlightenment. The universe will bring in ideas. You know what I mean? Like, I keep on seeing this common theme, and I'm like, that's what I need to bring in, and then they brought this idea, and I'm like, you know what? Okay, so they know they feel that I'm ready. I've been doing this for a while, almost a year. So now it's time to bring it to reality. So this is where you're ready for the next level of things. Sorry, I have the hiccups. So open your hands to receive. Open your hands to, so this fall, winter may be significant for you. So with myself, there's other moving parts to it. So it's like starting to bring that in, start making that fruition, start putting my energies into that. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's where they're saying with the 10 of Wands, it's going to feel that way. But once it starts, it's like, there's no stopping you. Because this is exactly this is the next level. You know what I mean? this is the next opportunity. So Nine of Pentacles has been a common theme. And again, this is like the fruits of your labor is what they just said. So again, this is Seven of Pentacles, putting the energies in. You sowed the seeds, you know, you've done the watering. So what I think can't remember where I read that, but they're like, you could do all the watering, fertilizing, everything you can. It is up to, you know, the sun can do whatever, you know what I mean? But you know, you when you plant crops or flowers or anything, you know it's never promised that they are going to do their thing. Like, I literally got bulbs for my sister, planted them, and the squirrels ate them. You know what I mean? They love tulip bulbs, the little buggers. I was just like, you little... I planted them, I put them out there, I'm like, oh, maybe they'll do better outside, and I put my daffodils out. The daffodils just look like freaking grass. They didn't bloom anything. But, they ate the bulbs. I was like, you little buggers. That's what I mean. It's like some things are not promised. You can put the work in, but, you know, they're saying tedious. But that's what I feel like rebirth. Like they were saying, giving birth to an idea and, you know, getting that idea and then you putting your energy into it. And I feel like that's where spirit is, like you're giving birth to something. This is going to bring you into your brand new beginning. This is what you've been calling in. So success will surround you, like the sunflowers that surround this child, you know. I love the purity of the situation, the white horse. So again, we get that energy charge where it's just like, you know, this is what's fueling things to move forward, you know? So I feel like that's where it's positive confirmation. You only still got the Ten of Pentacles telling you, like, you know, we're reassuring you. Yeah, it's going to feel like a lot, but you are capable of this. So right now, so going back to, like, we were talking about foundation with the Emperor, that, you know, with the Moon card, and that is what's resetting those boundaries. So everybody could be busy right now, and it's like reconnecting with people. Also, balance being restored, but, you know, with the two wolves. So this is January's moon, the wolf moon. But right now, with the cycle of the moon that it's in right now, so this is like now to the new moon, which is the 15th next week. I believe that's Wednesday. And it's just like, you know, feeling more of that, you know, sturdiness in life. These are kind of like bonus cards, but the moon and everything. But they're showing like the Two of Wands, the universe supports you at this time. Because I know, like, you know, there's certain times, you know, in life or like, you know, in the month or stuff like that. Or like, you know, when you're going through cycles, it's like it feels heavier than others. So, you know, again, the universe supports you, you know, be with people that are in your energy, or you know, that will change your mood, that will bring, you know, more positive, refreshing things to your life. Last card is strength. So allow the universe to support you, your loved ones, archangels, guardian angels, loved ones that have transformed, loved ones that are here, whatever you feel your support with. You know, it's funny enough, they keep on bringing up fur babies, but even your fur babies, in some shape or form, they are definitely like a ground, not a grounding blanket, a weighted blanket, you know. Sonny always knows when I'm in a certain mood, he'll, you know, but he's always, he's like Velcro, you know, always attached to you. But, you know, I wouldn't trade him for anything in this world. Like, he's such a beautiful baby, you know. But just remember, find ways to ground yourself, but also, like, you know, when we go through those cycles where it is busy and you're doing the best you can, and that's what you got to tell yourself. You know, with myself, it's like the day got away from me. There's nothing I can do about it. You know what I mean? Like, I did the best I could, and that's all you can do at the end of the day. You did the best that you could. And be proud of yourself. You know, like they were saying, like the snail. It may feel like a snail, but you're still making progress. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. It's just like, you can see it. You know what I mean? It's tangible. It's doable. You will do this. You keep on doing this. And that's the thing. You're moving in the right direction. That's what you got to remember. So I hope you enjoyed this quick card pull. May the universe bless you good.